Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher and it is that time again for my monthly eyeshadow palette rankings video. This is where I take everything that I have used in the month of September, all of the palettes, and I attempt to rank them by what is my favorites. I also love to share with you guys all of the looks that I've created with these palettes too. I kind of share why I've ranked them how I have. So if all of that interests you, stick around and we're going to dive right on in. All right, guys. So welcome again. If you're new, I'm Cher. I like to do this each month, and I am also going to try to start and see how it goes, a new fragrance rankings video as well. So I'm going to be following up with that one too. But this is one that's like a favorite of mine each month. It really stretches me to play with my palettes and try them all out. Now, a lot of them are new this month. I did a lot of eyeshadow palette reviews, got a lot in mystery boxes or regular boxes or ones that I nabbed up, some that I couldn't resist. So we have a lot that were kind of first time try-ons for me and looks that I created. So now we're going to compile them all for the month and see what we've got. Keep in mind, if I rank them low, it doesn't mean they're bad. It's just in relation to all of the others. So we're going to get started. We always do this and start with the least favorite ones at the bottom, and we work our way up to the favorite ones at the top. Okay, I think I counted 24 palettes in all for this month. Now, you guys are going to be so shocked when you find out what I have in place for number 24. It's not because it's not a great palette, and it's not because I'm not absolutely in love with P. Louise. I had just gotten the budget box as well as a mystery box, my first P. Louise boxes ever this month. I was so happy with them. Believe me, I was. And a lot of you guys were really excited about this palette. That is the P. Louise Stack 'em Up palette, I guess. It is like the money one. You can see it looks like they're money. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. You got a colorful one. They're usually really neutral and all of that. And guys, like, it looks so cool. It really does. And it looked amazing on the swatches too. But man, when I put this on, that was the brightest blue-green eyeshadow I think I have ever worn in my life. And it was just a little too blue and green for me. Like, I will never go out wearing that in public. And I did go out in public with it because I had no choice. I had filmed and I didn't have time to wash it off. And I think I was even maybe preparing for the hurricane. I can't remember. And I got the weirdest looks. Like, people were staring at me at the grocery store. And I was really embarrassed. So, and I did get some compliments when I wore it in my video. Everybody's like, I love your eyes. So I know there's some color lovers out there that are going to love this palette. It is just not going to be one that I'm going to wear much. I will wear it for fun, like creative certain looks. It's going to be great for that, but not my color story. All right, and then coming in at number 23 that you guys see every single month is the ColourPop little quad here called Down to Earth. And like I say, each month, the reason I use this, I use it all the time, and it's very functional and very handy. It's not bad. The only reason I've ranked it so low is just because it's a quad and it's just kind of boring, you know, smoky colors. But I use this a lot for my eyeliner. That's what I primarily use it for. Is I don't do a lot of like liquid liners. I mean, I do every now and then, but I tend to just kind of do dry like eyeshadow dark colors, and these have all the perfect colors you would need, like the dark browns and black, to kind of smoke out the eyes underneath or create a wing with it that's just like the perfect colors, but not like too much for my 46-year-old skin and eyes. And so this is just perfect, and it's so handy because it's got just 4 pans. It sits in on my vanity, and I can just reach for it each day when I need that eyeliner. So it works out very well, but I rank it kind of low because it's just not as exciting as the other ones with the color story, but it's still very functional. Okay, and then the next up is what I'm wearing today, and that is this Delancey. We got it in the ice cream beauty box. I really like it. Like, look how sparkly it is. It's all shimmers, very colorful, really beautiful. I was really happy to get it. I really like it. I don't mean to rank it so low. It's just, again, it comes back to like wearability. I'm only gonna wear this look and these colors for special certain occasions, and it's not gonna be even like party looks. Like, I'm not gonna go out like this. Now I might for like a Halloween party look, you know, like Frankenstein green, I don't know. But these are not gonna be the party shimmery colors I'm gonna wear usually. So again, it just comes down to like the colors. I'm not a big color person on my eyes, so that's all. But it was really fun. It wasn't as like ultra pigmented as I thought as I was using the shadows to build it up, but it ended up making a really pretty look with all of this. So I do really love it. Like, I mean, I will keep this palette, just it's gonna rank lower just because of wearability. And then next we got this palette in Ipsy this month. I think it was it the Ipsy Glam Bag, y'all? I think it was the Ipsy Glam Bag one that I got it in. So I did get that in PR. I did a try on video for you guys and tried it all out. It does kind of have those Natasha Denona vibes with the 5-pan. Reminds me a lot of it. And even the formula was great. So I really liked it. It has a lot of nice little pink colors that I do like and will use. It is wearable. I think it's just ranked lower than a lot of the others that were more interesting to me. Like, it's really cute. I just have others that are even cuter. Next, I cannot believe that I am ranking a luxury palette here so low, but we're gonna rank it kind of low here. And that is the Chanel Divination palette. And so I got my first Chanel collection on the fall collection, and I picked up this particular one rather than the other because it was the most unique. Now, I ended up loving the color story, and I will wear it. Especially during spooky season, it definitely gives the like bougie, sophisticated, like kind of spooky in the graveyard in France, like I said before, kind of vibes. So I loved the color story, but it's all matte, and I'm a shimmers girl. It's only $4, and I just feel like for the price, like, really, this is what we're doing? So, and I think that's the problem that I have, is that I do so many amazing palettes that it's hard to like stomach the idea of what you pay for luxury palettes and stuff for the price that you're paying, you know, because we all dabble in so much, guys. I mean, if you're an eyeshadow palette lover and you're watching this video, you probably are. And so you probably agree with me, like, yeah, so that's why it's kind of ranked low. But I did love the colors and how they blended and morphed together. I thought they actually looked really good with my brown eyes. And so they are colors I will actually wear. They're like very unique and not always my everyday, but like I would still wear them for every day. And I don't think I would get as many odd looks as that really bright blue eyeshadow. Okay, and then next, we still kind of have luxury. That is the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. So, you know, I'd gotten it on sale when it was like 50% off at Sephora because I'd always wanted it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my chance. So I thought I wanted it, but I honestly still, like, every time I play with it, I'm not that into it. I'm glad to own it now, but like, it's got too many greens again. And again, I don't wear a lot of greens. There's some fun looks you can make with it that, like, again, I think this is going to be great with spooky season coming. I'm going to have all the greens I want for it, but they're not greens I wear all the time. And even the browns in it kind of turned green. So it's like, I don't feel like you can wear a whole lot of really every day, even with this. They're not colors I wear every day anyway. And even the shimmers in it, like, I'm normally a shimmers girl, but like, I feel like the shimmers are a little too shimmer, if that makes sense. And it's probably just because of the colors. Like, they're just, I just feel when I wear it, you know? So unfortunately, it isn't ranked super high. I think it's one of those, like, I think it will look awesome on certain people and they probably love it. But for me, like, it just has this barfy green on me. That's how I feel about it. Okay, the next one is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, the Neutrals palette. And, you know, got this a long time ago. It's actually been in my pro makeup kit for a bit too, but I have a video, I don't know if it's going to air before this one or after, talking about how this is the #1 top selling palette at Sephora, and I explain why that is. It's because it's a lot of neutrals, and unfortunately a lot of colorful makeup is out these days. Neutrals is what's in, blush is really what's in. And so I did a whole video kind of demonstrating using this palette and talking about it, and I think I wore it a couple other times as just a quick, it's a great one for like if you just want that very subtle, not a whole lot of color, something quick and on the run. It's perfect for that. But it's also been great in my pro makeup kit, just having a whole bunch of mattes at my disposal. And of course, my favorite color is this one, the blue, like the smoky blue. And you also have a black in it. So there's, you know, a lot of fun that you can do with it. So it has been a good palette. Like I've really liked it. For a matte palette, this has been a good one. So I still really like it. It's just behind a lot of my other favorite palettes too. Okay, so I got another P. Louise palette. This one was more in the budget box one, and it is the After Dark, one of the part of the Midnight Muse package in there. And this one I liked a lot more. It's a lot more wearable. It's still not colors I always wear because it's mostly like silvers and darks. It's a very smoky, saucy palette. But it is perfect for when I want that look, that like grungy, smoky, like, oh my goodness, va va voom. So absolutely loved it. I do like this one. The two shimmers in it that I was dying to play with, like they kind of came out a little different than I thought. Like they were like, again, they were very shimmery, but they worked. Like they were fun. I probably won't wear it all the time though. Like I said, it's not necessarily an everyday for me. This is a sexy night out palette, but absolutely loved it. Next I have the Ofra Signature Palette Luxe. And I think it came in a boxy charm, but I didn't get it. But, you know, my friend Mala did and sent it to me. And I still love this palette, mostly because of how it looks on me. I know it's not super exciting. It's very brown, right? Very warm, golden. And it has Rodea Drive right there in the middle, which is very popular highlight, one of my favorite highlights. And so, yes, I know there's not like a lot going on. However, it is a palette I absolutely reach for just because I know exactly how it's going to look on me, and I love it. Like, I just feel like it's very flattering on me. And then especially like this is just my favorite. Like, I just love to wear that highlight right there on my eyes. So gorgeous. So it's still kind of a favorite and top up there, even though I know it's kind of boring to a lot of people, but very wearable for me, but yet a very pretty and party look for me also. Okay, and then similarly, it's probably not the most exciting to everybody either, but this has been a favorite. I love this palette for on the go. This is from REM Beauty, Ariana Grande, you know, and it's what, like her Baby Doll palette. Another one that's just, it's very neutrals, or, you know, like kind of browns. You got a little bit more towards your, not quite burgundy, but like more brick colors almost. So only a few shades to choose from, I'm aware. And then you've also got just a couple of shimmers, but then with mattes. But they're the perfect shimmers, all the perfect colors. Another one that I feel is flattering on me and so easy to transport for travel. Great everyday wear. It's just the perfect everyday little palette for me. So I really, really like it, and I rank it pretty high because of that. Okay, next, I just go so back and forth on this one. I have the Tom Ford Emerald Dust palette, I think it's called. And I rarely ever wear the green out of it, to be honest with you. But these three right here, so everyday. I think there's something about the formula that I love. It's this silky, like bougie, just perfect color. I just feel so like silky and beautiful when I wear it. We'll just put it that way. But on the other hand, the price, it was like 90 something bucks, and it's just like, for this, really? So again, with that whole luxury discussion, is just like what we're getting for our money. You know, we're used to be able to get at least like a 12 pan, you know, with amazing options if we're going to pay 90 bucks, you know what I mean? So it's like the price versus what you're getting, but I so reach for it. I love to wear this palette just because of that like silky bougie feeling. But again, I know it's boring to most. And what's funny is it's like I rarely ever even wear the green in it. I just always wear those colors right there. But I do love those colors right there. But then we got the Moon Slice Beauty palette. This one is the Moon Shake. And we got it in Ice Cream Beauty Box also. And this is more like my colors. This is a me palette all the way. I love palettes that have some pinks in them, some burgundies, and some browns and neutrals, maybe a little smoky. Like that's just about like 90% of what I want to wear every day, either for party or for everyday or just feeling pretty or what have you. This is it. All of these shades here. So this was a perfect color story for me. So I was so happy to get it. I actually, you know, they gave us a choice between two different color stories. One was more colorful, and then there was this one. I went for this one because I thought I'm gonna be more prone to wear it, even though it's not as exciting to others as that other one probably was. And so I was happy with it. The only thing is I would say when I tried it on, it wasn't as great of a formula to me as a couple of their other palettes we had gotten from them, but it's still really nice. So overall, I've enjoyed it. It's a good one. So I have it ranked fairly high. Okay, and then you guys are gonna think I'm crazy for ranking this so high. This little tiny like little 4-pan also, and it came in the Ipsy Glam bag. This was the Life of the Party by Shades by Sean. But you guys, I am so in love with this little palette, this little quad. It is the perfect pink. This is Share Pink right here, and that's shimmer. Look at that shimmer. That is Share all the way. I love that perfect pink that it makes. And then you've got, I mean, you got all the perfect colors. I always feel so pretty when I wear it. So this is still such a favorite. It's one of the few Ipsy Glam bag palettes that I would probably never declutter because I just love the colors in this one. And next, you guys, if you've been around, you know that I did a little video on the new Jeffree Star Orgy 2 palette, which we'll talk about also. But first, we're going to rank where Orgy is falling. So I just grabbed the bundle of both Orgy and Orgy 2 because I wanted to compare them, and I had always wanted Orgy. So I went ahead and got it. And so I was really happy I did. You know, it's an all matte palette. It's a little dirty now because I've used it. And part of why I really wanted it was for bridal makeup, believe it or not, because it is so useful for like pro makeup with all of these different matte shades. You've got so many ranges and so many things to choose from to have as a background. You know, all the mattes you could need, and then you can just put like whatever toppers for bridal or whatever looks on top of that. And so it really does make such a handy one. Like this is even better, I think, than the Makeup by Mario one I was talking about because you just have so many to choose from. So I love it, but it's ranked a little lower than everything else for me personally, just because I'm not a mattes person. I want some shimmer and some shine. So, you know, it's so useful and functional that I love it, but not as exciting. So that's why. But you'll see Orgy 2 in a little while, so keep watching. Okay, and then the next one is the ColourPop Haunted Mansion one, or Welcome Foolish Mortals. What is the actual name of it? I guess the name of it's probably Welcome Foolish Mortals, right? I love the packaging. I did keep it, and I did a whole fun Haunted Mansion look with it. I had so much fun, and I really like the palette. It has, you know, so many fun, cute colors in the middle there, but then it has very wearable colors down here. So like I could even make an everyday look, and I did. I made it more of just an everyday, fun, pretty look besides my Haunted Mansion ghost look. Now, I did primarily like blues. Most of it was that color right there, but you can make fun pinks and purples, a little bit of like green and smoky back here. Now, and like pewter. I do feel like they could have put a lot more in here to make a haunted look, but it's perfect for me personally because I can use it both for that spooky element as well as those everyday pretty looks too. So it's kind of a perfect mix of both for me. So I love this palette, and I'm glad that I finally picked it up. Then we have the Siete London Brazilian Glow palette. You guys have seen this one from me before. We got it in Ipsy, and it continues to be one of my faves. I think I wore it to the beach, took it to the beach with me because hello, Brazilian Glow. It had that vibe, and I just loved it. Like, again, you can tell this is a share palette because it has a lot of those colors I'm going to reach for: the pinks, the soft shimmers, the burgundies, the browns, and it's even got a pop of some purple in there too. So it always makes that perfect, like, a lot of times I wear like the corals out of it, but also some pinks. And so yeah, I've always loved the Siete London palettes I've gotten. I actually like their formula. Again, I've talked about how I've heard mixed reviews on it from Ipsy customers and influencers, you know, other friends of mine and stuff. They don't love it, but I love it. I feel like it's the kind of formula I like to work with. Like, it has really pretty shimmers that aren't just so shimmer that get everywhere, but they are still like pigmented enough that they pop and make really pretty pops of color. So for me, like, it's the perfect formula that I like. So I think that's what it is. Okay, and then we move along to the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, and I haven't gotten to play with this enough, so I couldn't resist pulling it out. I love those pinks and purples the most. That is what I love in it. And I think the first time I did it, I did some crazy wild look. I don't know, just playing with it, like a cut crease or something. And I wanted to use as much of it as I could. So I had like some green and stuff, but I didn't care for that look as much. I just wanted to make like a really pretty pinky purpley look. And so I did. And so I'm in love with this palette. And I mean, you can't ever beat the Jeffree Star packaging, even though it's so bulky. And it's like I ended up having to make a whole drawer, guys, for my Jeffree Star palettes. I just created a separate Jeffree Star drawer. I did, because his palettes are so bulky. A lot of them are. And so it's hard to fit them in there right with my other palettes. So it is what it is, but it's still so beautiful. Like, I love them. They're just not functional. Okay, the next two were really hard to choose between because they're two favorite palettes in general, but I was like, oh, they're kind of tied almost. But I went ahead and decided the next one is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. And it's just, every time I wear it, like, they're not normally my colors, but there's something about these softer pastel-y retro vibes that, like, I just feel so pretty. I don't know, like, this is the kind of green that does compliment me, I think, and that I like a little bit better than the crazy Yucca palette greens. And then with those pretty pinks too. So anyway, it's just, I don't know. I just love creating looks with this one. So it's very unique for me, and I've just loved it. Then we have the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. I couldn't resist. It's a little above it because I love this one. These, again, are very wearable neutrals, and even all these like reds and pinks, they still end up creating a fairly wearable one if I kind of build them up. But then you got a little wilder looks over here that you can party with. I ended up making a very red look with it this time, which was fine by me. Like, that's not as wearable to me, but like occasionally it's fun. But I love his formula, always. And I love the blend of these colors, how they end up looking. So still a favorite palette. Okay, but then we ended up getting the Vanessa palette from Juvia's Place in the Juvia's Place mystery box that I got. And this was absolutely my favorite product of all. It was so good. I absolutely love this palette. This one is gonna be a favorite. Those pinks right there. And even the pop of like, it's perfect. Everything in it works together beautifully. It is gorgeous. The pink that it makes, gorgeous. And those shimmers are like absolutely to die for on the eyes. They were so gorgeous and stunning. Like, this is a favorite palette. I love it. I didn't know about this palette from them, but so glad I own it now. All right, guys, we're down to the top 4 now. And these were very hard, and these continue to be absolute favorites. So coming into number 4, once again, is the ColourPop Going Coconuts. This is so beautiful. I mean, no, it's all like neutrals, but gosh, it's gorgeous neutrals. And it's really that like middle one right there. It makes the most gorgeous silky pop of champagne color ever. So stunning, so stunning. And I ended up, like, you know, before, I think last month I told you guys, I ended up comparing it to what is my number 3, and that is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, because it reminded me so much of some of the colors in it. This one leans a little more peachy in a lot of ways, but I did come up with a very similar look between both palettes. So it's like, oh, which one do I like more? I still choose the Natasha Denona just a little higher, just because it's not Natasha Denona, and it has more color and options in it, you know, than the Going Coconuts, but so similar. Love them both. This continues to be a favorite of all, of course, but this month I did review number 2 that I'm ranking, and that is the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. And I compared them to each other to the I Need a Nude. They are so similar, but the I Need a Warm does make a little more, well, warm looks. It makes more like coppery type looks, especially in this range. But this range up here can be very similar to the I Need a Nude. This one ended up being more of a favorite for me because I feel like I can still create a lot of the same looks that I would with I Need a Nude. But then I can also add in this gorgeous, more like coppery, warmer golden tones. And I was thinking, well, if it's not like neutrals like this kind of over here, the way that the I Need a Nude does, it would make more like peach schnapps leaning, whereas this one will make more golden and coppery leaning. And I tend more towards the golden and coppery looks. I just felt like they look better on me than just a little peach does. Like, I like the peach, but I would rather have more golden and copper than peach leaning. So this one's just slightly higher than the I Need a Nude for me now. And then that leaves us with the number 1. And you've probably already guessed it because I already alluded to it earlier. And I've given you guys some hints on other videos that this was going to be my number 1 probably for the month. And that is the Jeffree Star Orgy 2. So indeed, the Orgy 2 ended up being my absolute favorite. So in love with this palette, guys. I'm so in love with it. I know it's not like ultra colorful, which is okay for me, but it has enough of like va-va-voom. I can make all these neutrals. I can make a little pop of cooler tones, pewtery. I can make smoky over here, and I can make those golden coppery ones similar to the Natasha Denona. Make a little touch of pink. Now, I will say that that's what's missing from it is my really pretty pinks and like burgundies. If we added that stuff, it would probably be like, I would probably never need another palette again. But just of everything that I have used this month, this is the favorite, and this is just what I'm like wanting to play with the most at the moment. And it could change again next month. Sometimes it's all about my moods, and you know, this is my new baby here. So it's kind of like, it's still new and I'm still wanting to play with it so much that it has topped the charts for the month of everything I have tried and used for September. So that's it, guys. So what do you think? Let me know if you agree. What is your top 1 for the month? What have you been using? And do you have any of these palettes and love them? I'd love to hear. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I always love this monthly palette video. Make sure that if you love it too, you stick around because I bring it each month. And if you're interested in my fragrance rankings next, stick around for that one. We'll do one similar to this, but with fragrance. And also all the other reviews I do here. I do a lot of beauty boxes, so that's where some come from. And I do a lot of just my own. I love, you know, to play with palettes and do looks, and I'm a freelance makeup artist. I probably forgot to mention that earlier. So we do, you know, lots of different topics here in beauty. So if all that interests you, definitely stick around, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.